Hey folks, it's that time again to go out, see if we can find any video games at some thrift stores and some pawn shops. It's been a few weeks, so hopefully they restocked a little bit and some new fresh donations came through. Before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. Support for the channel, it's always appreciated, but with that out of the way, let's head to Goodwill. Ended up being a pretty good day at the thrift stores. First stop was a Goodwill. Ended up picking up a copy of Just Dance 4 for just $2 on that one. Really solid deal. I think GameStop is buying these right now for about $5 or $6. They're doing the same as cash promotion as well, so not too bad. Being able to pick that one up made our copy of Metro Redux for $4 a free game. Great way to build a collection is anytime you can find and bundle a couple games together. You know, it basically turns into a buy one, get one free, so that is awesome. Couldn't be happier with that. Next up was another Goodwill. Didn't find any games, but found some pretty good Blu-rays, including a copy of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. This is the Steelbook version, pretty rare. Pretty happy with the 4 Blu-rays I was able to pick up from that one. And then at my last stop, it was One Vision Thrift. I ended up picking up a PS4 camera for just $5. Normally I don't buy any of the accessories, controllers. If they get donated, they're usually broke, but I don't think a whole lot can go wrong with a camera. Another one of those things where I'm going to end up just taking this to GameStop. They're doing the same as cash promotion. Bought this for $5. I think it's selling for something like $6 or $7, so pick up a couple bucks there. Overall, not too bad for a few thrift stores. Ended up going to a couple garage sales on the way into work. At the first one, I was able to pick up a copy of G.I. Joe Operation Blackout on PS4. Not necessarily a valuable game, but just one I don't see too often. $5 on that. Was pretty happy. But the big surprise was finding a Game Boy Pocket AC adapter, complete in box. New old stock, or is it old new stock? I don't know which. A lot of your Game Boy accessories, complete in box, actually hold a little bit of value, so getting this one for $2, couldn't have been happier with that. Not a bad visit to the pawns. First stop was Money and More. I ended up picking up 3 games. First up, I can never pass up a Steelbook, even if it is MLB 19 The Show, $3 for that one. Next up was a copy of Shadow Warrior. Fairly uncommon game. I was surprised to find that for $3. And then my last pickup was a copy of Divinity Origins. This is going to be one for my own personal collection. This was $25. They also had the wheel going on for a discount, so we got 20% off. So basically, I picked up Divinity and got these 2 for free. Not a bad stop at Money and More. And then I stopped at Easy Pawn. Kind of an unusual pickup. I picked up a copy of Dark for Xbox 360, which I guess is actually a fairly uncommon game. It's either that or the fact that it's almost impossible to look up on eBay, because I guess Xbox is a pretty edgy console and it has so many games with Dark in the title of it. There's The Darkness, Dark Souls, Alone in the Dark. There's so many of them. There's a Dragon's Dogma with Dark in the name. I don't know. But I guess it's pretty uncommon. Because the disc was in rough shape, we got that one for just $2. And then they also have a bulk stack of Nintendo DS games that are $2 or 5 for $5. Ended up picking up 5, But the big winner was a copy of The Sims 2, which still sells for right around like $20 even in loose condition. The other 4 I'll end up putting in a little lot. I've actually had a lot of luck selling lots of DS games. You put together 10 or 20 different titles, you do pretty well on those. Ended up making a couple more stops. First of all, I stopped at Stuff Etc. I never really have any luck finding games there, but I was pretty surprised to walk by a Flashmaster math learning game. This was just $5.50. Something you just don't see every day. I didn't even know they made these anymore. It looks brand new, so pretty solid pickup there for just $5. And then I stopped at Video Games Etc. First of all, I got our copy of Dark Resurfaced, got a new case. That looks fantastic. Couldn't be happier with how that turned out. And then while I was there, I found a really good deal on GTA 4 and Liberty City. Just $12 for that one. That was a bargain. I had some pretty good pickups this week, but I also have something special waiting in my mailbox at home. Let's go take a look. It ended up being a really solid day of video game hunting. I want to touch base on something I mentioned earlier in the video, but thrifting, going to pawn shops, picking up video games pretty cheap, is probably my favorite way to build a video game collection. You might not be finding the most rare titles out there, but anytime you can find copies of, as a good example, Just Dance 4, buying it for $2 and getting $6 out of it. $4 doesn't sound like a lot of profit, but let's say you do that 5 times or 10 times. It's a pretty good way to earn your way to, some of the more rare titles. Pretty good example of that is what I got in the mail today. I mentioned I was gonna do a DK Oldies buy list order. I ended up trading in a bunch of copies of Halo 3 and some of the Call of Duty games. I was able to come away with a copy of Shining Force EXA. That's going to be a kind of minor grail for my collection. I ended up trading in something like $21 worth of video games. What's really cool about it is it's going to finish my Shining Force collection for the PS2. Could not be happier to pick that one up. Definitely recommend going out and see if you can find some underpriced titles to trade in for some that are a little more desirable. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. Support for the channel is always appreciated. Folks, I hope you have a great rest of the day and good luck video game hunting.